This is the Ministry Podcast. Hi, my name is Chris Gilliam, and I'm hanging out with Summer. Hi, Summer. Basically, we dive right in on this podcast. So we're going to ask you the deep question first, and then let's see where we go from there. So the deep question is, who are you, Summer, and how did you come to know the Lord?
I still don't know how to answer. Um, well, I mean, in a nutshell, I'm just a child of God. That's who I am. That's just who I am and who I'm growing to be as well, I guess you could say, because it's a journey. And I've I don't know if I could say easily that I've always known the Lord. My parents grew up as or they came to be Christians in the Jesus movement. So they were Christians when I was born. So there was always Christian music in the house and going to church and things like that. So um I just always knew that the Lord is the Lord.
So as you're growing into a bigger walnut, what kind of things do you think go into that? How do you connect with God? Like, what's your layering there?
Well, I mean, okay, so my brain just keeps focusing on like how do I connect with God, and that's just on the daily, just through his word, through time in prayer with him, a lot of stillness time, a lot of listening, and yeah, that's how I connect with God.
Cool. And why do you do those things?
Well, in the past it used to be because I that's what I was supposed to do, growing up in a Christian home, and like it was like you have to read the Bible, or you have to pray. Like these are the things that you have to do, and it was like a automatic thing for me. But as I've journeyed through this life, I've discovered like who God is and the love of God and his character, and then even more like salvation and like just what Jesus has done for us, for humanity, saving us, giving us eternal life. And that's um, within that journey, seeing the evidence of that, and really just knowing deep in my heart that, yes, that is true. He is true. He is real. And that's who I want to seek all of my days.
Awesome. You want to go into any evidence that you found personally?
Um, we can, yeah. I mean, things like I remember, like from being a kid, um, being convicted by the Holy Spirit, and just among my friends, and discovering who my Christian friends were, and then watching them get bullied, and then knowing that we're supposed to, like Christians, we stick together and we are there for each other, and just like things like that. But also having dreams as a kid, some pretty, I won't say prophetic dreams, but they're definitely spiritual dreams.
Right.
And it's just things that, um, to me, it was always more than a dream. I always felt like God was speaking to me through these images that he was giving me. Um, but also, I mean, just like even later in life, it's just answer to prayer and just seeing how things just come together. And like, there's no way that that's just by chance. It's God for sure. So yeah.
Seeing the life word evidence. That's cool. So, like the dreams when you were a kid, did you like see? I always call like the bunch of eyeballs. Did you see the angels? Like, what was that like?
I did see the return of Jesus, and that was a trip. I was probably about 14 when that happened, and I was at my high school. Things were happening, and then there was like a flash of lightning, and then I saw Jesus in the sky. He was on a cloud, and his arms were out, and then he goes like this, and then everything disappears. And then there's a scroll in front of me, and I know that there's a multitude of people with me, but I can't see them. I just know that they're there. And then all these voices start singing. I don't know if you remember "The Lord is my shepherd. I'll live for him always." The Lord is my shepherd. I'll live for him always. Yes. We're all singing that song together.
Wow.
Everybody's singing. And it was real. And there was words on the scroll in front of me. I have no idea I don't remember what it said. But when I woke up, I was like, Jesus is coming back. And I was reading my Bible more. I was just like, that was real. And then in an instant, I regretted waking up. I was like, I was going to go be with Jesus. And that feeling of, oh, okay, I have to be here. Okay. It was just kind of, all right.
I got you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So when you talk about answered prayers, do you have any examples of those you might want to give?
Well, most recently with like all the knee jargon stuff that's been going on.
Sommer has a bone growing sideways out of her knee.
Yes, I do. In a nutshell.
A walnut shell.
Yes. So the day before my appointment to see the orthopedic surgeon, I got a phone call from the doctor's office saying that that my insurance was canceled. And then it just seemed like everything was rolling downhill from there. And then like I heard that all the appointments were canceled and the referrals were canceled in that day. And I was so brokenhearted and was really let down. And then I just poured my heart out to the Lord and was just saying, I can't do any of this. I have no control. And just a very fervent prayer. And then within a couple of hours, everything was reinstated the same day, and making phone calls and talking to like state reps and things like that. And it came back. I mean, I had to wait for some of the appointments, they were a little bit delayed, but that was fine. But to see that happen in an instant, but then also in the midst of all of that, just really feeling the comfort of the Lord and remembering that he promises to take care of the ones that he loves, his people, and he promises to comfort us and during these kinds of things. And so it was definitely evidence that he was answering prayer.
It's a powerful witness. That's really cool. You talked about singing in your vision when you were younger. We talk about service a lot of this podcast. So kind of what do you do for the church? What is your service assignment, for lack of a better way of putting it?
I guess you could say I'm the worship leader at Touchstone. So yeah, I lead the God's people into singing praises to him.
Cool beans. And how did you get from your testimony to there?
Oh, hmm.
I just want everybody to know these are very big philosophical questions. And I'm very proud is not the right word. I respect the crud out of Sommer as my big sister here for getting through it, because it's a lot sometimes.
So how did I get from my testimony?
Yeah, from your testimony to doing music as a form of service.
Mm, that's weird. I don't really know how that
It's okay.
because I feel like I've always been involved in music. I've always been focused on singing to God and just being willing to be used by him in whatever capacity he puts me in. And things just I feel like just rolled into it.
Just kind of happy.
It's out of nowhere. I mean, I was super stressed out at my job. like my full-time job in an office that I had been there for almost 4 years, and it was just a very toxic environment, and I felt like I was going insane. And then like my seizures started picking up, probably due to the stress, and I'm pretty sure. And then I was praying. I really felt like the Lord was saying, "You need to quit this job." And it was very concerning because of like financial stability and things like that. I'm like, I don't know how we're going to be able to survive off of one income now.
Right.
Um, and and then the Lord is just still like, "You're doing this, and just trust me." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I did it. And then like the same day, I think I was telling Sharon about it, I got a phone call from Jeff. I was like, "Hey, these things are happening. We're gonna need a worship leader. Can you come help us?"
Wow.
And I was all okay. And then it was just, you know, I had trusted the Lord. I was like, if you're the one who put me in this position, I know that you're going to provide for us. You wouldn't have called me to this just to watch us suffer, so, or even struggle. Um, so yeah.
Very cool.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
What-
I might be asking the leading questions here, but you're really the one who's advancing what we're doing. So I'm just kind of picking up what God's putting down here.
Right on.
So in worship leadership, I don't want you to get super specific, but sometimes in any kind of service, okay, remember the Bible defines service not to you. I'm talking to everybody. You guys probably already know. Most of you have been walking for a while, but in case you're new, the Bible describes leadership as service. The idea being the last one will be first and the first one will be last. And in service, sometimes we can encounter difficulties, hardships, things aren't always easy. And I was wondering if you could give any examples of stuff you've had to overcome. Uh, I mean, you've been doing this for about a year now.
Yeah, year and a half.
What kind of challenges have you faced that you're willing to talk about, and how's the Lord brought you through them?
Um, well, there's definitely personal challenges. Because it's a constant like removing of myself to be standing before the Lord and just being led by the Spirit. Um, and not making it about myself and not making it about performance. Because like when I first started, um, or even when I was doing worship before I was leading, it was a mentality of like performance and showing off my skills. Like I will be honest, it was about that, and I was proud that I could play all the instruments and things like that, and
Trust me, she can.
um and being in the leadership position and just understanding that it is the Lord who is leading and not me, and it's the gifts that He has graciously given me, that it's my job to give back and not make it about me. So I think the challenge has been to not pat myself on the back when I do. um and just to tread carefully, so that I'm not making it about myself, and not pouting when nobody says that you uh but uh but also I think it's it's a it's a responsibility that I take seriously in leading the people, the congregation, because I have to make sure, like when I'm praying, that I'm praying as one body and not just me. You know, hope that makes sense. But
Well, what do you mean by that?
well, there's an individual prayer, and there's a prayer of the people. You know,
It's a very prophetic thing to say, Sommer.
Well, I just have to make sure that I'm praying on behalf of all of us, that that we're knitted together, and we're one body, one mind.
Praying for the family.
Yeah, exactly. Pray for the people.
Yeah. Prayer for the people. I like it. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So, if somebody wanted to get into worship service, what does that look like? If you were to advise somebody who's newer, how would you tell them to go about what they would want to do?
Um, well, usually, I mean, obviously, I'd have to find out like where their gifts are, like, or what gifts they have. I guess is, I mean, um, I can't say that out loud. Never mind.
Or editing this out, I assume yodeling doesn't count, right?
Right. Well, there are some people who don't have any like musical giftings, I guess you could say, that want to join the worship team. And I'm like, I don't know where to put you if I don't. I mean, we're not gonna do the flag thing, so, or we're not gonna
Has that ever been presented?
with the flags.
Yeah.
No, well, not with me, anyways. Thankfully, that would be really awkward. I'm like, I don't know.
We're cutting this part out too.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, color guard is cool.
it is. It is objectively. It can be a little bit distracting sometimes, but it is kind of cool. Yeah,
Wait, what were we talking about?
good question. So if somebody was brand new to worship, how would they go about be going into service in this regard?
Well,
And what's the right heart for doing that? I mean, you described it a little bit for yourself earlier, but if you were giving somebody else advice, what kind of heart would you recommend going into it with?
um, I think it's definitely a self-sacrifice kind of heart. Because you can't really you can't go in with any expectations of being served by others because you're doing the serving. So, um, yeah, I lost my thought.
It's okay. Um, as far as talking about, I mean, these are gifts that God gives us, but it's also a talent we have to exercise and not bury.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that it's kind of hard for me to say sometimes because I don't know like where the line is drawn for saying like it's God. This is God. This is whom we're serving. Like know who you're serving because he is indescribable, but he's like the creator of the universe, and there's so many things about who he is that is deserving of our worship, and that's what our hearts should be drawn to, is focusing solely on him, and it has nothing to do with us, you know?
So, in other words, if somebody's wanting to go into worship ministry, where is their focus?
Yeah, yeah, and that's I think I'm still having a hard time like articulating that when I go to ask people or when I have like sit down because we have had some people come recently wanting to join the worship team, and I've talked with them over the phone and just kind of give them a layout of everything. But when we met in person and just getting the conversation going, I'm listening to their heart when they're talking about why they're wanting to go into service. Like sometimes because I wonder, like, is it right for me to ask, why do you want to do this? Like, why do you want to be on a worship team?
I think it's right for you to ask.
Okay, that's encouraging because that's sometimes like it's those kind of thoughts that keep me from doing those kinds of things or saying those kinds of things. So I'm like, I don't know if that's right.
I think for you, you also, and just because you and I probably have this in common, you also want to be able to read it naturally without having them give you a performative answer.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
And I think God gives us that ability. Discernment is a gift. I definitely believe you have. And so when it comes right down to it, I'm sure he kind of lets you know.
Yeah, but excuse me. Right on.
Does that sound right?
It does.
Putting words in your mouth and all, or okay.
Yeah, I always lack words.
I'm too many. God's like, do a podcast. I'm like, oh, I have a place to put words.
Woohoo!
If money is, so this is the big last question. It's kind of a fluffy one, but if money and volunteers were no object, what kind of ministry would you start and how would you run it? And this podcast goes beyond Touchstone. If money and volunteers are no object, what would you want to do? Would you want to start an orchestra? Like what would what would worship look like for you?
Well, um, with all the money, I don't know that I would start anything with worship. Um, my heart has been is thinking about just like the community lately, and um and just seeing like empty lots around the city and wanting to purchase those empty lots and make them into community gardens and have them run by like the local people, and or even like the homeless people can come in and help tend the gardens, and just the food be free for everybody.
That's so cool.
So that's what I would do.
I like that. That's really awesome. Well, thank you, Summer. This has been kind of fun. It's been really fun. I just try to tune down my enthusiasm when I talk out loud for this podcast. But thank you all for listening. That's it. That's it for today. We're going to release the next one pretty soon as well. Appreciate you folks and have a great day.